Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about a little bit on how to play the Stalk market in Animal Crossing. If you guys didn't know, every Sunday before noon, Daisy May comes and you can buy turnips from her, and they vary in cost. And then throughout the week, you can go to the Nooklings and see what they're buying the turnips for. Some weeks you can get really high prices, other weeks it's pretty low. There's a lot of calculators out there too to help you decide like what week you're having based on how like your morning and your afternoon prices are throughout the week. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more information on how to make the most out of the stock market. So let's dive on into that. The first place that I learned to help me sell turnips is the Animal Crossing Turnip Exchange on Reddit, AC Turnips. I'm fairly new to Reddit still. This is probably like the most I spend on Reddit is through turnip selling. But what I end up doing is I'll go to Sunday, buy my turnips, and then during that week I'll figure out the days that I have off, and then I'll check out this Reddit on the days that I have off, because you can see there are now 235,000 people trying to sell their turnips. And so it's really hard because the high price ones, a lot of people look for it. So in this exchange, people will let you know what the Nooklings are buying the turnips for. So then you can go and sell your turnips and you can make a high profit. So if you buy them for 90, you sell them for 500, you made 400 per turnip, and you can hold 4K turnips. You can make a lot of money from this. What I end up doing is I will filter through the new ones. So you want the newest ones up top, that way you have a higher chance of getting them. Like this was just posted just now, buying at $3.93 per turnip, and then you can comment. Some people, when they sell, they'll just say they'll direct message you a code if you comment. Others will be like, hey, tell me what your favorite color is, and then I'll message you. That way it kind of gets rid of bots that are trying to comb through and trying to go through onto the islands. There's also rules that some people will set. Just be courteous when you go to other people's islands. Don't run over their flowers. Don't mess with their island at all. Just go sell and then come back. Posters are not allowed to ask for tips, but you can compensate 10% is a good guideline. So normally when I go, if it's like, I definitely recommend tipping because it is stressful hosting an island. I did before and it was very stressful. The thing with Reddit though is because everyone can see it, you can end up with posts that have like 50 to 80 comments on it in a matter of minutes. Now this is an example of when I was hosting, so that way you can kind of see a different way of buying that I thought was useful, and that's going to be using Google Forms. So if you see a sell post that uses Google Forms, I definitely recommend that over the others, because a lot of times they'll give you a link to the queue, so then you can actually go through and you can see all the ones and where you're at in line. It keeps adding them in, so if you fill out the form, like if someone were to fill out my form, it would come down here. So you can actually see where you're at. I ended up color coding so you can see like green, yellow, red, what those all mean. And so that way you're actually able to be like, okay, cool, I'm 27th and they're on 13. I can, keep this up, keep an eye on it, go do a couple things, come back, check on it. So I think these are easier because you can actually see where you are in line. And this isn't the only per subreddit. There's also Turnip Exchange, which will go through and people actually post pictures, that way you know what you are getting into and the price, and it's for real because there's a picture of it. I try and stay away from the ones with entry fees just because they'll stand at the other person will stand in the airport, so you can't get by until you drop something. And then not a lot of times, so sometimes then they'll close the session because they're just scamming you, that kind of stuff. So always make sure that you're staying safe, and that you're just being smart about it. And also if they're asking for Nook Mile tickets, that's a lot of turnips. That's 100 turnips that you can sell and that you can make profit on. So just keep that in mind when you guys are going to these islands. The other website, this isn't associated with Reddit or anything like that. This is called the Turnip Exchange. So it's turnip.exchange, that's the website itself. And this is where you can host or you can search for islands. This is another good option. I try and do the Reddit one first, just because like with Turnip Exchange, they have like a Patreon and they're asking for money, and then it gives you better options when you're trying to sell and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm just weary on that. When you go to islands, you can actually choose if you want to see Celeste, Daisy, neither. So like with turnip selling, if you want to do turnips cataloging, so that way you can get more items crafting or just other things. And then Patreon only, this is like the Patreon only page. The Patreon ones will be the first ones, just so you guys know. And then yes, there's fees, no, there's not, or either, because you're down for whatever. The sad part is when you hit no, sometimes there are still ones for fees. Then you'll see in the notes like entry fee is this. What you have to be worried about is when you go to like entry fees, they require, oh, like some of them are absolutely ridiculous. What's nice and what's new is that there's ratings. So like people can rate like clown, like this is a joke. Because what some people will do is they'll come on here and they'll make an island saying that they're selling for this much, with 500 seems like weird that it's exact, but we're not going to go there. And then people will get there, drop their items, and then go sell, and it's like they're selling for 93 bells, and they're out because of the entry fee, which is absolutely crazy. So like whenever I go to places with entry fees, I try and find ones that have like the hearts or something like that, or where the entry fee isn't ridiculous. So like 50K or 1 Nook Mile ticket, that to me isn't bad. And then what you'd end up doing is you'd click on it and then you would join the queue, and then they can put like discords and that kind of stuff. So those are always really good options to go on through. Like I said, I would be weary of the ones with, there's a lot of people out there that are like knowing that you want to sell your turnips and they'll just try and get as much money as they can, and which is really sad. So I would definitely check out the subreddit pages for turnips, and then if you really need to, go into Turnip Exchange. The only problem is that the person hosting can close at any time. They don't have to give you a notification. So there are times where I've had 6 queues going just to be on the safe side, and I've only gotten into 1 because the 5 other ones closed or it was getting too late and that kind of stuff. So I definitely recommend, if you do Turnip Exchange, trying to be in multiple islands at once, so that way you're not just wasting all this time. So if one does drop out, you're not SOL. You're able to go through. And you can leave the queue whenever. Now what's nice is it makes you like read everything, and then you're like, cool, I'm out. So if you are looking to sell your turnips, like I said, I definitely recommend the subreddit and turnip.exchange for the next part. If you do look at subreddits, try and find ones with the Google form, because it kind of gives you the same idea where there's like a queue if they give you the sheet, just so that way you know where you are in line. Like that's just the most important part, I feel like. If you are buying turnips, I always recommend, if you couldn't get them on Sunday morning, time traveling back to the previous Sunday and then just try and sell your turnips during that week, because when you go to the turnip subreddit, some of them will post when she's selling. Great and all, but with time traveling, like if they're on a different day and you time travel and it's the next week moving forward, those turnips have rotten. Like there's so many times on the subreddits where I've seen people be like, oh, I bought them and I came back to my island and they were spoiled. So be careful when you buy turnips. If anything, just time travel back to Sunday afternoon, buy them, and then spend a day and try and sell them. That's just my recommendation for that. Let me know if you guys want to see making like a Google form and how to use it to host. If you do want to host, I definitely recommend it, especially if you're taking advantage of this kind of stuff to sell. Try and at least give back to the community if you do have a high price, and allow others onto your island. I used the Google form method and it was fabulous. It was so easy and everyone complimented on how easy it was. So let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. I would love to go over that. And I hope you guys are having a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and stay safe. And don't forget, if you like me, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm coming back. I'm going to try and be doing Tuesdays, Thursdays from now on. And I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.